Welcome back. So, playing from this channel. So I'm going to talk about Damodar Kunda region. I have not I don't think I talked about this. Pardon me if I brought it up real quick. Just real quick. I looked through my things. So we've gone through how Damodar Kunda itself, where shallograms are said to originate, literally is a shallogram. Maybe I'll just go like that, just so I'm not covering it. Imagine that's not covering it. How these are a shallogram. And animations. How this happened, where water literally filled the valley over here, creating it, pushing aside material, etching the region, and then flowed up here, flowed around, and created this lobe area, flowed down these hills, down this way. Probably, let me just see. I'll go over here, I guess. Flowed down over here, interacted with the current coming this way, that then wrapped around, went up there, but where it interacted, that's where those lakes are, Damodar Kunda, the 2 lakes, or 3 lakes, whatever amount of lakes, the features we just looked at. Then there's this one in that region as well, so this is another shallogram in the region that is in a wall that I frequently reference. So, I noticed the other day, I'll bring this up, it may not be clear just from this image, but there's another one, and it's along this line, all the way over here. Okay, and also this one looks kind of like one, so if we go over here, turn it, so it's kind of this way, along this path, right here. Very much has a chakra, lobe structure of a shallogram. There's also that next to it. Other things, and then down here, this is kind of narrowish and widening. Like this right here, shallograms do that. Like it looks like maybe 1, 2, 3 generally lobe structures outward. At least from this side, it's certainly not so cohesive overall. Like over here, it lacks the other one over on this side, but it is, like if we go through these chakras over this way, its chakra region is generally in line with that, going back this way. So my thought is the current, even though it went around and went up this way, it also went over, like at a high enough elevation, just went over this, over top the other currents coming down, and managed to interact all the way over here. I mean, there's certainly another shallogram feature here, so that's cool. I found another one in the local region. There's lots of shallogram features here, as I've discussed in depth, regardless of what scientists might believe when they look at my research at a glance. Okay, so there's that, and then I'm going to talk about Damodar Kunda images, but I took the images actually in the river, mostly, from a video. But I wanted to bring this up. My last video was about the hurricane and the earthquake, and as Hurricane Hillary dissipates, I say, the earthquake swarm in Ojai, California has seemingly slowed to a halt, with the last of many that occurred in the last few days having occurred at 5:33. This is yesterday, local time, and then I said coincidence, question mark? Like they really slowed down. So if we go to this map, come here, search. Let's say 1.5, because 1.5, that's actually not true for 1.5 to 2.5, but for 2.5 and above it was true. So let's go ahead, there it is, just kind of box it in here. Okay, that should do. And then say search. So we did have one today at 1.8. But before that, another one today. So I guess there's some still going on today at below 2.5. So none of these would have showed up as 2.5 or greater since then. But if we scroll down, if we manage to get down, let's find that 5.1. 5.1. If we look around this one, like leading into it, there's a bunch of 1 point somethings, 2 point somethings, none of which, only 2.6 that goes above 2.5. But then after that, there's 2.7, 3.0, 3.5, 2.9, like rapidly 5 minutes between all those 5 minutes. So just a swarm. As well as that one, this one, this one, this one, all in like 10 minutes. A bunch of them. They continue 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, let's say 10 seconds even. Another 10 seconds, another 10 seconds, another minute, another 2 minutes. Rapid. These are rapidly happening. Rapid, rapid, rapid. Still rapid. And then 4 minutes here, so it's slowed down a little bit there, but it's still rapid. Like a swarm is happening at this time. So let's keep going. Still part of the swarm. 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 We're starting to get like an hour ahead now. What was this at? Oh, that's not the 5.1. When was the 5.1 at? 5.1 was at 5:41 p.m. local time. I think my time, I don't know, whatever time, relative to the others. So an hour later, they're still going, still going, still going, still going, still going. I mean, still going. So let's go all the way up to like here, let's say. Next day, still going pretty good. But they're starting to separate. Like this is 30 minutes, this is almost an hour, this is 2 hours. Another hour almost, another 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, hour and a half, hour, 4 hours. It's kind of interesting. There's like a 4-hour gap and then a 3.3. 2 hours, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, something. And then, what, like 10 hours here? Pretty substantial between those. And again, another 3.9. Interesting. And then, a bit of a swarm, the 22nd in this time frame. But really, as we approach present, 140, 620, and then 320, 304, and then 28:24 the previous day. So they've begun to dwindle, especially when we look to 2.5s and greater. No 2.5 or greater since then. Then I said, curiously, while the storm was occurring, another location, which I mentioned in my previous video, just noticed it. I was like, Another location of earthquakes was in Texas, near Mexico. So that's what this one is that area. Although, do I have, yeah, just in that local area, which I guess I boxed pretty far out. But generally speaking, 4.0 yesterday, 3.3 in the same general area. This says New Mexico, it draws it in Texas. I don't know. They're all generally here though, like 2.3, 3.2. I was like, huh. And because I was interested in, well, where is Hurricane Hillary? Where is this storm at? So I found a radar, which is apparently not loading right now. I found this radar, and I started looking at it. I pulled it up, so this is Hillary, I guess, like remnants of over here. Notice, though, there's a storm right here. This is at 8:21 at 11 p.m. Eastern, I think. So if we move ahead, I took 4 images. 8:22 at 11 a.m. So this storm is moving. It's moving from the Gulf towards that area, basically. Over. I really would like to have that radar now. Let's see if it loads. This is all I could get it to do last time. It's probably not gonna load. Radar, let's try to go to like this, minus some stuff maybe. Looking for data, maybe? I don't know. Launch data access. Let's just Google it, maybe. It's not working. This is just not close enough for any naysaying that's happening. How dare he suggest things that are not what I already know? Wah, oh fuck. Maybe this will work because it's... I might just need to reopen my Chrome. Okay, so we're a little too far ahead, so let's just go back. Let's say previous day 12 update map. So definitely went over it. Let's go back another 6 hours, 5 hours, whatever. Definitely went over it. Notice it also has this like threading back here to the Gulf, which is kind of interesting. The storm from the Gulf has like a thread. As it approaches where these Texas earthquakes are occurring. Doing a very similar thing. Seemingly, I don't know what to make of it, I'm just pointing it out. Like, it's almost like the earthquakes are actually a precursor to the storms. Even though the storm is already developing, so it's like set in stone. Like, these are all parts of a continuous process that's occurring. We just don't understand it. So when we see like a storm developing and earthquakes happening, like it's energy exchanges occurring. That's my thoughts. That are perhaps relevant. So let's go to presence as far as we can go ahead, I guess. Maybe up here even. So it's past it. I mean, this is pretty much where that is, right around here. And so I drew here's the magnetic anomaly. This is where all those earthquakes are happening in the magnetic anomaly map at this green dot, right at the edge of this structure, which is generally at the edge of this big blue region, which is, in my interpretation, a region where current can flow underneath the crust. So like over here where this very subtle aqua dot is where the Ojai, California earthquakes are occurring, have been occurring. So it seems related to the actual magnetic anomaly map structure happening at boundaries of these things, where my thoughts are current flow is like propagating in a direction and running into it and like ramping up it in some way, maybe putting pressure into it and causing it to move and like slide in a subtle way, but enough to like tremble the earth. I don't know exactly, but maybe it's moving the magnetic anomaly maps like material where the pink is, the high intensity locations are basically compacted dense mounds. Where the blue is where currents flowed that compacted those mounds. And so current could feasibly flow into it and move it, maybe. I don't know. If that's what would be happening, that doesn't seem like we would probably at some point notice changes in the magnetic anomaly map that are more permanent subsequent to earthquakes that sort of show like a movement. And possibly, I haven't looked honestly for anything of that nature. But my thought was it more so ramps up it and like hits the pressures of the crust and causes the crust to be influenced where at some point an earthquake happens for some reason, maybe eruptiveness in the pressure like being contained and needing to like push out the boundaries so it can vent. So there's that going on. I don't know what to make of it. I just thought I'd bring it up real quick before I did anything else because I figured I wouldn't be making like a whole episode of it. So, okay. Yeah, so there's that as well. I was thinking I have a bunch of shallogram images and I have some other images that I took pictures of. So I figured let's do that. Damodar Kunda, August 23. So these, I'll link these videos in the description. Just, I don't know what exactly, I just took this picture. This picture, this may or may not be man-made, man-influenced. This is the ramp over there, so I took this picture, and it seems not to have come out in a very good quality. Here's the ramp. I'm pretty sure this is the ramp to the left, and they're walking back between the ramp, where this image is right over here. So they're walking through there. On the left side is this ramp. And what I mean by ramp is literally ramp, where the water goes around it and ramps up it over it. Ramp. So that's what's over there. Then I went back and took pictures from this. This I think is a different video. Took pictures from this again to see if maybe anything else popped out. I haven't looked at this in any subsequent way. Like over here to the left, there's some more terrain I might have talked about in the past, but I thought I'd just look at it. I wonder if right here is like a lobe with some chakras and something going on over there that's shallogram-esque. Don't know. It looks almost like this was interior and is exposed, like right here. Like this softer looking material was above all of this and just got eroded away, and the harder material below, like a skeleton material, skeletal, was harder and not as eroded, perhaps. I don't know. But we've talked about this one in pretty good detail. Maybe just bring it up real quick, where I draw the outline, especially this. This is incredible. People tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about and ammonites are fossils. They haven't seen this. They haven't seen the nuances of the details I point out. Sorry, I've just been wasting my time maybe and thinking, well, maybe the scientists will... No, they just refer to science. Science has so much evidence that ammonites are fossils. I'm like, look at all these papers. They all start with it as an assumption. How can their conclusions prove that their assumption is correct if they start with the assumption? They don't in any way like critically analyze the assumption. They just start with it and then go from there. That's not critical science. That's just assumptions being held as if they're true and then going from there. But the reality is they're not fossils. Here's why kind of things. Like, we can physically see shallogram features here. A chakra. Like, I'm tired. I'm just fucking tired. My health is just like... Pfft. Today was not a good day. It's very demoralizing to be not healthy. It's like a fucking ball and chain attached to my ankles, my shoulders, my neck. Like several balls and chains, and then balls and chains attached to the balls and chains. Like, just trying to be real, you know. That's life, dudes. That's what I get for sitting here doing this research at my own expense entirely, in every fucking way. At my own expense, because this way of doing things is so inhumane. Like science, oh, we know what we're talking about, so we'll just punish you for saying otherwise. Are you done yet? Well, how about now? We're gonna go out and have a party. We're gonna drink some fine wines, eat some sushis from the bars. We're gonna do what we want because we get paid. We live in a world that we comply. You gotta comply like us. You don't know what you're talking about, dude. You deserve to be going through those things. Just utter ignorance, too. Like, I can see you're not watching the videos I'm linking. I could see. You think I can't, like, tell that you're not looking at the evidence I'm presenting? What a waste of my time. No offense, person who's been kind enough to talk to me significantly. It's just, it always ends the same, where I'm just like, oh, either they get fed up or I get fed up. I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Trying to have a like conversation with me peacefully, but you're not looking at the evidence. You're just gonna go with interpretation and then cite me things that are in my research, but you don't know that because you're not looking. I literally showed you that. I literally already have like evidence around it, like this soft tissue. I don't know if it's in here. Let's see if I got some responses. I was checking with some peeps if it was cool if I could use some of our stuff. Where is that Australian ammonite? Here it is. This. I'm like, there's a siphuncle. Clear as day. You can't maybe see it in this image very well because I drew over top it. But that siphuncle is ridiculously clear. just gets ignored. It just gets ignored. I'm like, right here. This is a fucking ammonite the size of Australia. You're gonna tell me they're living creatures still? And there's no doubt about it because people have done a lot of work on it. Because people have all these papers that talk about ammonites as if they're living creatures. And every one of them starts with the assumption that they're living creatures. That makes it that they're living creatures. No, that's not how science works. It's not how truth works. Truth doesn't give a shit what we say. Truth is like, I'm just here waiting. You can find me sooner or later. You guys are in the wrong way, I think, because you ain't found me yet. It's like hide and seek. Oh, I'm over here. Nope. Psst, not even close. It's funny to know that people who think they know what they're talking about, literally, in the most literal sense, don't know what they're talking about. Oh yeah, these are fossils. No, they're not. It's honestly funny. Science deserves to be taken down with the governments, everything else. Sure, the scientific method itself is good, but the like institute of science that has like controlled the conversation needs to get the fuck out of the way. It's not complicated. It's in the way. It's like we got control of this. We know what we're doing, even though we don't recognize a huge ass ammonite in the structure under Australia when it's right in front of our faces. We know what we're doing. But I literally label to this thing. I'm also just recording because I'm trying to get done my 360 videos. I really want it off of my mind and out of my life in some ways. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. I'm fucking tired of all the debates with people who just deny my research when they don't even look at it. I'm like, I know you're not fucking looking. I know you're not. It's tiresome. And I like bring in cosmology and things. Oh, what's that got to do with ammonites? You're just distracting. No, you just don't know what the fucking ammonite is. That's the problem. It's been usurped by assumptions, and obviously I get it. I see why it looks like it would be a living creature. It's just not. It's literally not. So many anomalies, which I've gone into. That's why I have 350 previous episodes, because I have content. Like, you can't just look at it, like, even looking at this image here and denying it means fucking nothing to me. I'm like, you don't know the extent of my research. This is so, dude. You can't tell me it's not so casually. If you can, like, express that you understand the extent of my research and express why it's false, then I might hear you. But if you're just gonna look at like individual components and deny it outright and demonstrate you just are unwilling to like hear reason, I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm fucking dying. You don't understand, I'm fucking dying in a corner. 10 years of like, while people just get paid to be wrong. Here's your paycheck for being wrong. Thanks for endorsing our bullshit some more. Good job. No, not good job. Anyway. And then they fucking take money from children. Thanks for coming to school. We got lots to teach you. Don't you guys have like a bunch of buildings? Like, what are you doing? Oh, we gotta maintain them. We gotta pay staff. And I need a new car and a new house. That's really what's happening. People with enough wanting more. Just fucking greed. Taken from children to the point of societal collapse. Yeah, you guys are really educated. Have you thought this through, educated people? Looks like you guys aren't that educated because you're fucking the world over. Just like doctors. Oh. You don't care then. You care about this. I mean, my track record is I'm on the verge of just, like, obviously I care. So I can say what I want to say. I can speak truths to people who need to fucking hear it. Okay. I'll stop now. Let's keep going with some evidence. Okay, back to this. So we were here, we were here, we were here. Okay, let's just look around, see what's up. I will try my best the rest of this video to not in any way complain and be more just focused on details. Okay, so we generally see a path coming down here. Path down here. What looks to be like a V here that maybe continues up that way. So like a bunch of crossing currents maybe. This V perhaps relating to what, this boundary here, like maybe etched away some of the material. Just a guess. As well as like parallel lines over here, generally creating those and this. Where it flows off of the top in general, I guess, went in different directions that crossed one another. Possibly, it kind of looks like there too, like that way. That's cool, it's kind of turned into like a grid. Okay, let's keep looking around. I think I took another picture that way. Okay, now we can see a bit more this way. So, like this, the pattern in the ground itself, interestingly, like comes to a point over here, past the shallogram feature. That extends generally out to around here-ish. Which makes me think of shallograms, like if we go to, not this, but this, go to cracks, maybe? Yep. So the tendency for out of a lobe, so like out of a lobe region, for there to be current that goes up this way and down this way, and then like simultaneous. I've talked about this. Sorry if I just say things that you don't understand, but I have a lot of content and it's hard to elaborate on everything continuously over and over again, where there's shale that contains different grain sizes to a point where basically an eddy forms in the rock out of these materials, forming the rock itself, creating a boundary. Like there's boundaries forming in these rocks by eddies that then causes certain materials to go essentially one way and other materials to go the other way because of their grain size. So one moves much slower than the other, so they effectively go opposite directions. And that leads to a collision over here where then emissions come out this way, as well as out the top, bottom, and 1/3, 2/3 points. Some reason 1/3, 2/3 is like a thing that happens. I don't know if it's like the best one to include, but definitely out the top, bottom, and far end. That kind of gives me that vibe here. Out the kind of going around and then around. I know it's like beyond this structure, but around it, and then like out that way, and then maybe down there, but still like converging. Another shot of that. I've only seen this video with this area. I would love to see this area more. Okay, so this is the other video. I don't know. Trisham. I'll link this video. Someone goes around all of this region looking for shalograms and in the river, so I get to show some more interesting river pictures, like along Kaligandaki River. This guy, there he is finding a shallogram. Presumably, I trust that he found the shallograms he found. He didn't just like fake it. Let's just bring this one. Like, several of them he clearly found. This one is pretty big and right off the bat, so it looks like maybe they're faking it and just brought one in to make it easier than to find one. But like, I imagine he found them in that instance too, because the other instances. I just started taking pictures of rocks that are interesting. Some of them are real interesting. I don't know where the place is that he goes to. Some like village that is built on really interesting rocks. It's real cool. Some kind of erosion down there. There's the shallogram he just pulled out of the water. Just pulled out of the water. The shell portion exposed. People don't understand. Like, there's no way they eroded like this. Like, it wasn't like it came out of the water. Or it came out of the matrix, or whatever. Like, the overall matrix that it was in. And then a chunk that had, like, an ammonite shell within it then eroded to be like this. The actual curvatures and the patterns on the surface, like especially here, the patterns wrap around systematically. So if there's a river flow atop this in any which direction, they wouldn't care about the shallogram's ammonite structure, but the shallogram does, because that's not how it happened. They literally flow like from an entry point like here, and then out and around in a way that is very visible in, say, this one, top details, this one, where it literally splits up this way, goes up in this way, and collides here, fills this region, and then this current comes around this way and causes this region, which is colliding with it, to have an offshoot this way, which then seemingly has another offshoot this way, and fills this top portion. But as this is forming, the shallogram itself, the ammonite within it, is being formed in the current flows. The top is at times etched away to leave behind systematically this little tab, and then this structure like this: tab, top, where a current flow is going into the top region and then through it, draining down through a toroidal structure that's forming inside of the rock, that then goes out the bottom side and differentiates materials around and separates them into the void that is opening inside of the rock. Bigger grain materials fill that void, which makes it like filled with like different materials like this compared to the rock. It has like nuances in the surface. These things can't just be like subsequently etched in river flows. It wouldn't do this. It just wouldn't do that. It would etch this away. It wouldn't care. It would just etch it away. Even if it, like, in a part is doing it, and, like, this is more sturdy, it's more sturdy because a current flow took those paths. So even if there is some degree of erosion, like, I certainly have never went to the region and pulled a shallogram out of, like, a distinct, like, terrain to see where it originates from. The only shallograms ever seen are like the one he pulls out. Like, I don't know where this came from. It was in the river. I don't know what its history is. It was in the river. This one made me wonder if he did actually place that one as so clean. But it does look like it actually has some marks on it. This is the place. Some layers of shale. Maybe this is a good one to actually find. Ammonite structures, like features. Something cool about Hinduism, like because of this, the religious sacredness of things like this, they like literally highlight it. Literally highlight it. Hey, look here. It's literally highlighted. Like if you had a piece of paper that looked kind of like this, and then someone highlighted little portions of it, like, like right here, right here. Here's that weird feature we noticed. I don't know what to make of this one, but some of the other ones are more like, whoa. Like this one, it looks like a trident. Oh, they just did that. Whatever, dude. That might be a shallogram in Matrix. Like a bigger matrix. Like there's a, like this one has a matrix. This is considered the matrix, the ammonite, and then the matrix. The matrix. But beyond that, another matrix that held it. Possibly something like that is like how it actually tends to form, where there's actual physical current flows of water that like focus into locations and eddy and form like nodes that then get entrapped in a larger matrix that then erodes away, leaving behind the shallogram as it formed, which has like the matrix and the ammonite within it. Something else going on there. I didn't know what to make of that. Let's maybe look at this rock itself too. That's interesting back there. Okay, okay. This one. Some kind of like dendritic looking thing. Dendritic looking thing. Which reminds me, maybe it's worth noting real quick, because I looked for this video today. Dendritic looking thing. Currents do that. Currents do that. It doesn't have to be the shell of a living creature if currents can do that. Sure, these are moving and fluid, but they're circumstantially so. It's possible for the same type of bending to happen in a more rigidly contained way, where there's lots of pressure in all regions, and that's just happening in a small like channel that pushes out its boundaries, like by doing that. That then forms a suture type of structure in the ammonite without any living creature having existed. Like, I've definitely disproven that shallograms are fossils, and certainly in the very least demonstrated they don't have to be, and we need to revisit it. If you guys want to at least say both are options still, and let's consider both, that's one thing, but to just totally deny that I have merit is just false. It's literally false. Anyway, there's that one again. Something there, maybe. Not the best features in these, I guess. Stuff going on. They also hide it with the highlighting. It's like a double-edged sword. Kind of like calling ammonites fossils. Like, check out these ammonites. Everyone studies them, but then they're like painted with this false interpretation that hides the truth. Definitely some interesting stuff with whatever they're highlighting. I mean, I guess so is around it. I don't know why. I don't know why. This whole video was in Hindi, I presume. So I don't know what was being said. There's no translate button available. I was hoping there would be, but to no avail. Translate on YouTube would be so amazing. If every video could be just translated to any language. Oh my god, that would be so good. They need to get that going. Like, some of them are. I don't understand why some of them are. Like, do they input a script and then it auto-translates the script and that's why? I don't know. If that's why, that's kind of disappointing. There's that trident. More of that trident. I guess this is where this is. I've seen this before. Got some shalograms holding this cloth down. These look like a structure on this one. You guys can watch my video on this one. It's not that long ago. I'm pretty sure the image looks like it, so if you're interested, you can watch that video. There's a structure right where my finger is, next to this opening with a little weird thing inside. There's a structure right next to it that's got little ribs. It looks very much like one of those. Like right here with layers to it. Okay, let's get to some more rocks. Get to some more rocks. Very cool. It's divided into segments. Reminiscent of this one, I guess. The way this face has the chambers around it. Hopefully you guys can see when I'm doing all this with the ammonites, with the shalograms. And it's totally fine for me to say ammonites because the ammonites are not fossils. Boom, headshot. Interesting something going on over there. Hard to say if that's what's going on though. Very cool. This video is nice. The bars everywhere of all the details are kind of covering some of the video. I think it was just from like a TV channel though. There's rock here. Nothing too exciting yet. Interesting rock shapes, layers in there. This was cool. Seems almost like water goes through at a higher amount and etched here at some point. Wonder if it floods regularly to that point. Or if that would have been really historical times. This looks almost like possible shallograms over here, like it's rounded in the wall, rounded. In the wall, rounded. I don't think this was a shallogram, but it was pretty interesting because it has. I mean, it's certainly influenced by the similar circumstances, of the pressures of the high pressurized currents that were flowing in the region at the time of the formation of shallograms. So it has like an ammonite kind of tail and wraps around kind of thing to a nucleus region, but it's still not so cohesive. It does have a little bump in the side there, but the presence of that is very ammonite-like. Layering, I don't know, just looking around, layering. Shallogram-esque looking rock there. There. Some layers in there. Layers in there. Layers. It was raining. He literally starts a fire. He was in the water. It's raining. Starts a fire. Like this is what's up, man. I wanna be there. I wanna be doing that so bad. He's got a little mallet. I don't know how people feel about this. Breaking them open, see what's inside. I'm like, that's kind of. They're not really shallogram looking that much in terms of like having an ammonite structure inside of them. So it's like, eh. But at the same time, I was a little surprised that that's a thing that's probably pretty common when looking for shallograms, to bring something like that to break it open. Layering. I don't know what I took this picture of particularly, besides this huge rock right there in front of the camera. Layering seemingly in it to some degree, with like dots, etchings in this side in a relative row. Some kind of overhang structure there, which I think he goes up on top of. I think he's on top of this structure, maybe not. Certainly on some tall structure there. I think we're getting near some interesting features that I thought were really, really shallogram-like. That's cool, all these layers. It's like, is that a chakra type thing going on? Chakra, 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 chakra. Maybe like an ammonite shape there. These rocks look like Mount Girnar. I don't know what that is. Straight and a little hook on it looking thing. I think this might have been one of the rocks that had cool features over here. Like this right here, yeah. I thought this right here looked like an ammonite. Like down here, there's these little striations. So I took a bunch of pictures, maybe like a rounded nucleus region. I mean, it's pretty much just a rock in appearance, but it gave me the impression that it has some of the features because of this location. Maybe a little bit over here too. And then just the way it curves around there. Pardon me, sir. Picture of his booty. I think this is where the shallograms that were taken to Ayuda were taken from, is this pit. It's a big pit too. I was like, whoa. Right from here. He gets in it, I think, these ones. I assume, based on the video, because they went in the pit, started showing this stuff, and then gave me the impression these rocks came from this pit right here. These ones. Two of them. They don't look as big as the pit, really. The pits look huge. Like, he was probably like that inside of it. So like that looks almost like 10-20 feet across. I don't know. Plus it looks like 1, 2, 3. But I'm pretty sure that's where they came from. This rock's real cool looking. Layers. Layers. All these like intrusion looking things or whatever they would be technically called. I don't know. Possibly intrusions, I don't know though. Kind of looks smeared. Like its materials were smeared and then hardened. Possibly. What if this is like a shock right here? I know, really exciting when I'm just yawning and tired. I can't sleep anymore, it's tragic. Ticking time bomb. Another shallogram. This is coming out of the river. These are the ones he found in the river. I think this is the first one. Pretty standard looking, if you will. None of them with like windows and into them. That one looks a little bit like it might have started, but it's just so dense that it doesn't actually have a window in. I guess that was all of those. That was all of those. How are we doing on time? I'm just thinking, what else do I got to say? I'd hate to just... This was an hour. Anything else? Feel free to peace out if it looks like the video's about to end. Thanks for watching. I think that's all that I recall, unless I started talking about other topics This was definitely worth noting again. It's in China. This is the border of China. Nepal, China. Nepal, China. So it's in China. Let's see. Let's just draw a line from it. Start there. Right here to the ramp. Here's the ramp. To the ramp, it goes through the Damodar Kunda eastern lake, and then to this one goes to like this boundary where it turns. It kind of is in line with that. That's interesting. I don't really know what to make of it. If I put it more like this way, it's like in line with this stretch all the way down here, even like right to this corner. This major corner. Ah, this place. I really want to see this place. There's also another ramp. I cannot find it. Like if I go to YouTube. In this video, this one right behind her. Like they go down here. This place is down before going back up this way. In order to go up that way, they need to come down this way. Down here, go through along the river, and then back up. So they're going back up towards here. So they're walking along this region, along this stretch, I think. Pretty sure along this stretch right here to go up there. Unless there's a trail that way also, I don't think so. But there's the trail. Goes over there and then down this way and up this way. And then over here, and then it kind of fades out. Like maybe there's trail there. Oh, looks like there's trail right there. But like nothing looks at all like what's behind her right there. This. Like we can see the little hump with the U shape. It looks kind of like another ramp, like a smaller one. I would really like to see in more detail. But I can't in any way find it. Maybe let's look a little bit more. So they go that way, go across here, and then they go up and into the green, this region that's just a different color. Over here. Like this is going downhill. It's possible the hill is this thing. It's possible. That might be a trail. I don't know if that's an actual trail. Oh, there's definitely. So like at some point they reach here and continue that way. So if we continue this way, like it looks like this might be a trail going this way up here. Over here, cross here, cross here, cross here, cross here. That must be the trail. That's gotta be the trail. Down through here. Up through there. I still can't figure out which one it is. Maybe there? Oh. Maybe this right here? It looks really, like right there. These little strip looking things, maybe. Maybe that's what that is. It's crazy how different it looks. No, I can't see this location from there. But you can see it from over here. I'm sure it's visible. If someone chose to, they could walk there. If someone's along this hike, goes up this way, goes over here, and instead of just following the trail that takes them over there, I'm not completely sure that's the trail. Either way, if they just go right here, it's literally right there. No one has done it in any of the videos I've seen. No one's really gone off trail like that. I also can't find where that structure is. So they pass this, keep going, and then they get to here, where they're going west, and on the southern side of them is a taller hill and a downhill slope, and to the north of them is that structure over here. This is to the north side. This is the video that's from. Kudos to the Pima Garang. I've definitely used his content a lot. Sometimes without reference, but frequently with, but still. Like, I don't know. I guess if they're up here and going down this way towards there, or maybe the trail is more where the snow line ends up being. I just don't see a trail. Like, seemingly they're walking over here, though. And then on the opposing face, somewhere over here, like, I cannot see that stuff. Maybe right here. That might be it there. There's another one of those V's. I was thinking for a second, it's probably not. I was thinking that V, though, might be that one V that we saw. Over here. Probably not. There's also some kind of structure up there that, I think over there. It's possible. Oh, there's trail here. Oh, this is after. This is after. That's why. I guess if the trail keeps going over here, it's possible they were hiking here. And that structure's over here. Nothing that particularly looks like it, but sometimes it really doesn't match what we see. Like, for sure the trail's there. The trail is so clear as day here. And then just fades in over here. Up this way, turns. Crossing down that way. I don't think they had reached this structure yet. Or did they? Wait a minute, is that what that is? Right here? No. No, they're still at the lake. That's at the lake still. Because they were in a building for this part. Darn, that would have been useful if that was. So I don't think they reached that structure. Maybe, let's see, at the end, do they? No. It's hard to say. It's not as documented, this stretch of it. People are more focused on the lake region. A lot of this, I can't find distinct anything in videos to really pinpoint where that one is. It's certainly not this, because the trail goes right up top it. It almost has to be while walking here. There's just nothing over here. Like, could it be here and just not at all visible here? I don't know. Guess they could have gone this way. Somehow made it over here. No signs of a trail. Plus this looks like not the best place for a trail. Although maybe there. I mean, it could be in here. Who knows? If anyone knows, let me know. Shoot. I need some scouts. This place is not really. There's like 1,000 people a year that visit it. It's hard to even get access. If one even wanted to. Anyone local can't just go, I don't think. That's so cool. Paradigms shift, dudes. They don't resemble what they look like before. It's kind of like, boom, Does that resemble the Earth? Paradigms shift. Alright, I gotta peace out. Peace. See you guys. I'm just dragging on. Peace out.